Hey, Defi Damsel. Okay, we have AI at Rugfree House, and looks like we got the team over here. I'm unmuting you, and just let's just wait for more people to join in.
All right, sounds good. I'm here.
It was okay, awesome. Is there
And if
anyone
it's
else
okay,
from?
I'm get. Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
okay, it's all
I
right.
was just gonna. I was just gonna say, if it's okay, I'm going to do a video um, AMA today.
Oh, that would be just awesome. So I'm gonna record your face then.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell everyone that we have a great client over here. So let me just start recording, and then you can start over with your introductions and background in crypto industry and stuff.
Perfect.
Okay, Sifu Inu, AMA. So here we go. You can start with your introductions and background in crypto mainly.
Hi, everyone. My name is Defi Damsel. I'm super happy to be here. People call me Dee for short. Fully doxed, KYC, everything like that. So all of everything what I'm going to tell you today is all verifiable through LinkedIn and everything like that. But my nickname's Dee, so you can call me Dee. All my friends call me Dee. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys today about my project. And my project is called Sifu Inu. And Sifu means master in Chinese, and Inu means dog in Japanese. So it's a master dog, and that's what inspired our coin. And I'll talk to you a little bit about my background. My background is I'm a seasoned veteran of accounting and finance. I managed a 12 billion, and that's billion with a B, dollar treasury for Toyota Motor Sales. You may have heard of it. At the time, Toyota was the fifth biggest company in the entire world. And I did a lot of really amazing things there, like implement new software for Toyota, cutting edge software called Quantum. And so I was a liaison between accounting and the IT world. So I learned a lot of sort of development in that aspect. So I have some really amazing, unique, and really one of a kind, because there's nobody who's really done what I've done, real world experience, which I bring to DeFi and to my project, and which makes me the solid founder. This is my project. This is my baby. I am the developer and the founder, and I have a support team that supports me, but it is my project. And I'm happy to represent the women. We are a small zone of founders in on the Binance Smart Chain, and I'm proud to represent us. And with that said, I will let you know a little bit about how I got into DeFi, and what happened to me is I originally got burned. I'm sure all of us who've been in DeFi for any amount of time have gotten their fingers burned, and I definitely did. My first introduction to DeFi is I bought the wrong token. I bought a scam contract address token, and although it was only $5, I bought $5 worth of the wrong token, and yeah, it's something that I'll never forget. Then when I finally bought that same token, the right token, I was unfortunately slowly rug pulled and sort of strung out over a long period of time. I bought into the hype, of Snoop Dogg was going to be, tweeting us out and, promoting us and that kind of thing. So I stayed around, oh, it's coming tomorrow and that kind of sort of thing. Well, all the people and, the liars were sort of rug pulling slowly out of the liquidity until basically there was nothing left. And recently, my most recent experience, I lost a ton of money, was with these, and it's slang DAOs, which are really just a slang term in DeFi for a high APY inflationary rebasing project. DAO means decentralized autonomous organization. And it was they're used for parks and cities and that kind of thing to come up with names for like a new school or something like that. And it's a voting thing where the community can vote. So, but and in DeFi, they're actually mean high rewards. And I fell into the FOMO. You know, I bought in and I thought, oh, I saw the amount of Lambos I could get, and sure. So I was like, okay, I could get 8 Lambos in like 2 weeks. Sure. Sign me up. But yeah, I fell victim to it. And after losing so much money in these DAOs, well, the problem with DAOs is they were rebasing projects, okay? So rebasing is a scheduled reward on a scheduled amount of time. So every 8 hours or whatever, you'd get a reward. So what the problem is that these millionaires would buy in, you know, like 2 minutes before the rebase period with their $1 million, and then they'd sell and move it back into stable coins a minute after they got their $20,000 reward, and then they just sort of do this every 8 hours. And so, you know, every day they were making like $100,000 off of every million that they had. And what was happening to the little guys like us is that we were losing a bunch of money because we were the hodlers, you know, we were sitting there like hodling our bags, and we were feeling the effects of the price drops. And then some news came out about the biggest bag I was holding, that one of the founders wasn't being completely transparent with us and had lied to us about a background of one of the treasury holders. And so, you know, the prices went to zero and it never recovered, and I lost a bunch of money. So with all of that, I was like, you know what, with my analytical brain, you know, I'm constantly analyzing everything. I'm like, how could this have gone differently? Like, how could I make this better? Like, how could I come up with a project where this would not happen? So I got on the phone with a friend of mine who had also lost a lot of money, and he and I like bounced ideas back and forth and like sort of problem solved for about 5 hours. And we came away going, you know, I think that would work. I think that would work, you know? And normally just in the evenings, I just sort of Netflix and chill. But that particular evening, I turned on the TV and I noticed that the game show Deal or No Deal was on, you know, right when they open up the suitcases and the different amounts are in there and the banker gets on the phone and makes a deal. And I was like, hey, that could be like a really fun aspect if we like added that into, you know, our project that we created today. So I called my friend up the next day and he's like, yeah, that sounds awesome. We should totally do it. And he's just like, you're the person to do it. Just go for it. And sort of, I was like, you know, what would be really fun is if we did like a daily like suitcase reveal, like something like that would drive volume too. If we did like an earn day where you airdropped them like at a random amount. So you're taking the screenshot with a random time within 24 hours a day. So you have to be in it to win it. But like an earn or like a burn where you're burning it out of supply, therefore like raising price. So, you know, the price will go up and down and that will like, you know, create volume, which will create sales, and we'll add a tax to it. So, you know, when it sells, it'll be generating more income. And he was like, yeah, we got to do it. We got to do it. And therefore, when that happened, Sifu Inu was born, and I came up with the idea for daily earns and burns. So for 420 days, which is like our runway, all the DAOs had a runway. And so it was like basically like based on the treasury amount, how long can this project be sustainable? So I decided to do 420 days of suitcases to open, which we call scrolls, because we've got kind of a karate feel going on with the name, the Sifu, which is master and is used in a lot of martial arts terminology. So we are revealing scrolls every day, and it's randomized, and it's going to be televised every day on YouTube and Facebook Live, because it's similar to like a lottery or like a bingo, and like you have to have lottery drawings live, or else, you know, there's all sorts of rules all over the world. But here in the United States, we have the SEC governing manipulation. So this is truly just we're letting the universe decide. Nobody knows at the end of the game how many earns. I mean, we know how many earns and burns there are going to be because there's 420 and it's a 60-40 split. So 60% are going to be earn days and 40% are going to be burn days. But the 60-40 split, you know, we don't know what days are going to fall, and like, you know, based on how many have happened, what is the percentage going to be that an earn will be open today, or what's the percentage of a burn? And then I have a second wheel spin that's going to happen every day, which is going to be the scroll amount revealed. And so I've loaded the scrolls with various amounts, everything from like, and I used kind of joking, funny numbers like 69 420 to like 100 million 420. You know, so we don't know if that amount's going to be earned or burned. So we don't really know how this is going to play out. But today, if I can, I prepared like a sample of the wheels. If I could share my screen, I will show you guys how the earns and burns will work. And these are my actual earns and burns. I created a little wheel here that I'm going to come on live on YouTube every single day, and I'm going to click to earn. This is the earn and burn wheel. And so I'm just going to click here and spin and determine whether we have an earn or a burn day. Earn! Yay! So we have an earn day. So that means everybody, based on the amount of percentage that you hold of Sifu in your bag, you're going to get airdropped the percentage of whatever scroll amount we open next. So let's say you hold like 3% of the total Sifu in circulating supply, then you'll get 3% of the airdrop. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, and now here's the scroll amount. And let's see what the amount's going to be. Ooh, 2,420,069. 2,420,069. So that's the biggest one we've opened yet. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, so if you look over here, and everything's online, I'm going to show you in just a minute where you guys can see it all, but it's all on the Google Sheets, and it's public because all the information has to be public to avoid any sort of, you know, accusations of manipulation or anything like that. And we just want to have fun. We don't want to do anything wrong. We just want to play a game. We're going to follow the rules. But anyway, so you see like the zeros, instead of zeros, you know, I have a teenage boy, and like these numbers, this is the funny number to him. He's actually 10. He doesn't really know, you know, what it really means. But so this is the funny number. So I've loaded them. Accountants don't get to have a lot of fun. So we had some kind of, I think it's fun to have funny numbers, and it's all through DeFi space, and you guys know. Anyway, so, but the biggest scroll amount is 1,420,069. So when we hit that, if it's an earn day, you're going to be airdropped, you know, a big amount. I might have to spread it out so the price doesn't get like hammered or something that day, but I have the availability to do that, so that's what's really nice. But anyway, so yeah, so when I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that live, and then I'm going to come to our website, and I'm going to put a button here, but for right now, the Google Sheet where you can see all of the results is right here in the how does the daily drawing work. There's a little. And if you miss any of this, this is all posted on my YouTube channel, DeFi Damsel. Okay, we're going to come here. We're going to go to the next earn day, and we're going to do a strike through like this. And then I'm going to come to the scroll master, and I'm going to find the 2,420,069 here somewhere. Like I said, this is the biggest one yet, and I'm just going to do the first one. I'm going to do a little strike through. So all you guys out there who are nerds like me, you can come and nerd out and try to like make your projections of what size of the wallet's going to be. The market's going to really be the banker, you know, and making the offers by the price. But, you know, you can kind of try to guess it and make your, you know, financial projections and that kind of fun and nerd out on it that way. But, and I'm also going to keep track of it here. So live as well. And publicly available at any time. You guys are going to come in here and you can look and see, like if you're at work when this happens and you want to just check, oh, was it an earn or burn day? Do I have an airdrop? What should I do? Or you're just curious. You'll know whether I've done the airdrop because I will update it at like I airdropped at like say 10 p.m. or whatever. So anyway, and all the results will be here as well. So that's kind of how the earns and burns work that I wanted to show you. And I just wanted to create something fun because I try to put myself in working for Toyota for a long time. I really learned a lot of things. And one of the things that I learned was Gintu Gumbichu, which means walk a mile in their shoes. So what you try to do is you try to put yourself in the position of the other person. And so what I wanted to do was create something that I know that I would have fun doing. And I think it would be fun to have like an early earn or burn day, and have an earn and get a big free airdrop, a big airdrop. I mean, I tried to create something that I think that I would enjoy participating in. And so hopefully I feel that I've done that and that you guys will all want to jump in and participate as well on all the fun. And I feel like that once the word gets out and once the hype gets out about all of the earns and burns and all the airdrops, and this is not the only airdrop that we have, we're frequent airdrops of two different kinds. And I'll get to that a second one in just a minute. But yeah, I just wanted to create something fun. And I feel that once the word gets out, it's really going to spread. And this has the, possibility of really taking off once people find out how fun it is. So if I can right now, if it would be okay, if I could talk a little bit maybe about the tokenomics and like explain how that works, I guess.
Before that, okay. I want to mention you look beautiful, first of all.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
All right. Before we move to something else, I want to hand over this hosting to Jenny. So, lady with a lady will work best. Jenny,
I love it. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny. It's so good to have another lady.
and Brett was right. You do look ravishing.
Oh, thank you so much. You're going to make me blush.
All right. Okay. So let's hear you talk about the tokenomics, and all of that.
Sure. So I'm really excited to share about the tokenomics with you guys, and I'll share my screen again if I can, just to sort of give you a little visual. It's not popping up, and I don't know. Oh, I think maybe because I'm not on it. Let's see. Hold on a sec. Share screen. There we go. Okay. You guys should be able to see it now. So there's a no buy tax because we really want to encourage hodling, but there's a 20% sell tax. And of that 20% sell tax, there's going to be 40% liquidity because it's very important to have liquidity in there. So I wanted this to be the biggest piece. So with every transaction, 8% of that 20% in the taxes is going to go to liquidity because you have to have liquidity in there. You cannot sell you cannot transact if you do not have an extra, amount of liquidity in there. So I wanted to add extra liquidity in there as well. So I thought that was really important. So we wanted to make sure that was the biggest piece. And then the second biggest piece, which I wanted to make sure was super important was, and this is what I alluded to a couple minutes ago, was the second airdrop. So not only do we have the earn day airdrops, we also have a weekly profit sharing airdrop. So every transaction, 20% of it will be taken out. And of that 20%, 6% or 30% of 100% will be a weekly B&B airdrop. And this was a huge feature that I added into the tokenomics here. And it was actually quite expensive for the code to add a different token because everybody gives rewards in their same token. But to add like a top 10, token airdrop is just like huge. And I believe sets us apart from like pretty much all the other projects. It's like you either get, there's some projects that give you B&B rewards. Yeah, there's some projects that give you their own token rewards, but who gives you both, right? And what I did to fix the problem with the rebasing issues that we had was I am going to randomly take a snapshot of all the holders once a week, every week before it's actually 7 a.m. UTC. If it's 12 p.m. Saturdays, my time. I'm in the Los Angeles, so Pacific time zone, but it's a -7 UTC Saturday nights, so it's actually 7 a.m. But if it hasn't happened during the week before then you know it's going to happen, so you better get in. And the bigger bag you hold, the bigger will be the amount of the percentage of the airdrop. So I'm going to sweep this account every single week, and I'm going to airdrop what's ever in this account to all the holders. And the bigger you get, the more BNB you get. And I'm airdropping BNB. And the strategy here with Sifu Inu is, if it were me, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep reinvesting and buying more Sifu, because the bigger bag you hold, the bigger BNB you get. And if you keep increasing it, that's the way to sort of reinvest and increase your bag and increase your rewards and keep rewarding and rewarding and rewarding, because we know that at the very least we have 420 days of this runway. So there's sort of a strategy there along with the BNB airdrop. So, and then kind of going hand in hand, I'm going to skip over marketing for a second and go over to the buybacks. So if let's say we open up a big, huge bag, we open up the 100 million 42069 suitcase, right? Or scroll, right? If we open up that big of a scroll, and the price just, let's say I airdropped it, which I'm probably not going to do, but if I airdropped it to everybody at once, and let's just say the price went down, I have built in here 10% of the total taxes as a buyback function. And because we're so scarce, and we have all the Sifu has been minted, you cannot mint anymore. There's no more that can be minted. And because we're burning already so much out of maximum supply, I'm going to buy it back and hold it for the future. But the buyback feature, the sweep account that I'm just going to come in and sweep it and grab it and bring it back, will actually increase the price when I do these buybacks. And then I'll be locking the tokens up in the future account and sort of like not make them available and put them out of circulating supply and back into maximum supply. So this is a really cool feature that's sort of the deflationary aspect that combats the inflationary aspect of the rebasing projects that just kept minting and minting and minting and minting more tokens into infinity till they were basically worthless. So that fixes that problem. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about marketing. I have 10% of marketing in here because marketing is so important, right? Marketing, and one of the things that was so great about working with Toyota is Toyota and the Japanese culture really believes that if you're a better person, if you're a better worker, if you're a better whole person. So we would do all sorts of positive affirmation trainings. We would do we would be involved in marketing projects. I worked for Toyota Motor Sales, so I didn't work for the production line or the assembly line or anything like that. I worked for the project here in Southern California, the Toyota Motor Sales Group, which and they spent $1 billion, not $1 billion, sorry, $1 million. It's still a big number, $1 million a minute on marketing. And what was really cool about that is that they would include us, even though I was in the accounting and finance division, they would include us on a lot of their marketing campaigns and new commercials and just sort of fun aspects of it. So I know how important marketing is because I was included on things like they'd bring us in and they'd show us like the latest commercial or they'd tell us, hey, we're doing some new marketing. It's called guerrilla marketing, where we're going to impoverished sections of a community and we're spray painting like edgy Toyota logo symbols on like abandoned buildings and stuff like that. I mean, and it just doing all sorts of, but hey, where could you go where you could not see a Toyota logo. You can go to a sporting event, it's on your cups, it's on your car, right? It's everywhere. So I sort of bring that background and sort of philosophy, if I may, with me. And it's sort of a great tool that I have in my toolbox. And I realize the importance of marketing and bringing in new people all the time. And I'm going to be running a lot of educational things. Master, so Sifu also means teacher, and I'm a huge teacher. And when I found out that Sifu meant master and teacher, I was like so excited, because if you guys check out my YouTube channel, Defi Damsel, you'll see that I have a lot of educational videos where I just teach people how to get into DeFi, because I know I struggled with it. And so, I just wanted to make it like really easy steps. And so I believe in educational and bringing the people in and showing them how to set the slippage, or, just in general, get in America, it's tough to get BP20 tokens. So just sort of how to do that, and bringing in new faces all the time. And so we're gonna spend some money on that, and that, as well as the development, which is also part of the educational feature. So this doesn't mean for the developer. This means for the development of Sifu Inu. So, it's team. It's developing a new. So okay, I'm going to stop sharing right now, and I'm going to talk to you guys about two of the exciting features that I have in here that I'm really super excited to talk about. The first one is it's anti-bot. I've added anti-bot software, and all the projects that get launched, everything is attacked by bots. Our Telegram, we had to shut it off earlier because it already got attacked by bots, and there's just nothing you can do. It. People try to extort money from you, so the only thing you can do is just beat them at their own game. And so what I've done is I have right in there in the code is anti-bot software. So when we launch, there's literally, and you guys can see it all on YouTube, there's all these videos out there that show that the bots are sitting there, and 300 times a second, they're like asking, they have all the new contracts that are about to launch, and they're asking, are you open? 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 And the minute it opens, they buy up everything that they can possibly afford, and it inflates the price, right? And then everybody sees that, and all the little guys like us, we buy in because we get the FOMO. We're like, oh, this is a great project. Look, the price is going up. It's already 10x. This is wonderful. We should all buy in. And then when they buy all in like an hour or two, the bots dump, and they drain the liquidity, and then there's nothing left, and the little guys just get holding an empty bag that's worthless. And so I've added in a preventative measure on that, so the bots can't come in. People can only buy $50 right at the first minute of launch. And then they have to wait 60 seconds before they can make another buy. So it's right in there, and I have it going for 10,000 blocks. So like for 7 or 8 hours, they're not going to be able to do it. And basically, it's just it prevents the bots from draining our liquidity and keeps us safe. It's a protection measure. It's like an anti-bot measure, and it's great. And so I'm really excited that we have that, because unfortunately, it just ruins so many projects. And I've worked so hard on this project, and I learned all these new programs. I learned Web3 and Remix and Solidity, how to read Solidity code, and all this great stuff. It was struggling, and to me, this is the fun part, getting to talk to the community. That's why you see this big smile on my face. It's like all the hard work, and now I get to come and talk to you guys. But yeah, so we have the anti-bot feature in there, and I'm really excited because I don't want anything to come in and wreck all my hard work. And then the other aspect of this project that's really I'm super excited to share with you guys is my developer who wrote the code is actually in Nigeria, and he and I had like a little bit of the way we say words was a little bit differently. So when I was asking him for all the things that I wanted, all the code for all the things that I wanted in my project for developing it, I was like, I want a vesting period. So for 5 days, I figure if people hold their bags for 5 days, you'll be able to see all of the earns and burns, and the word will get out with the airdrops, and they'll have one, BNB airdrop. And but he thought I said investing. So instead of doing the vesting, he put in investing code in it and ability. And so I'm excited to say that we have another added feature that's going to be coming within the next 2 weeks after launch, will be our staking. So you can not only earn rewards from airdrop, one, airdrop two, but now you'll get a staking rewards for staking your Sifu as well. And that's going to be a D app or an application that's going to be, I'm sure you're all familiar with D apps, on our website. So I'm super excited to announce that. And yeah, I feel like I've just put together the funnest game that I possibly could for you guys. And I want us all to make money. I have anti-whale measures in there. So when a whale, if somebody buys 1%, they're automatically out of any airdrops forever. They can never, ever participate in any rewards or anything like that. And then it's dependent on whether or not I blacklist them and enable them to proceed any further or not. It is a manual process, but you can see it all in the white paper on the website and all of the information and anti-whale measures. This is not a project for people who want to come in and try to steal money from us. This is for the little guys. There's plenty of money. The 1%ers, the big billionaires of this world, they have plenty of money to go around. They can share with some of us little guys, and that's what this project is for. We have most of the people already that have already bought in are just a bunch of like small little buys. We don't have any big holders. It's all in the blockchain. You can see there's nobody that has like a whole huge bag that has the ability to dump, and it's just for like us to make money, for all of the little guys. It's not for like people to come in. And so I feel like I've got enough procedures in place to have prevented that from happening. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that I wanted to share with you guys today, and maybe just open it up to any questions. You guys can truly ask me anything. We're open kimono at Sifu Inu. That's what I like to say.
Okay, so wow, this has been really enlightening, and I don't know. I just want to say that your energy is so impressive, and yeah, God,
Thank you so much. A lot of coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. No, you know what's really funny is I used to be a cheerleader, you guys, in high school, many moons ago. And they would, okay, so there was the kids section and the parents section. And the kids would always, they'd put the low energy cheerleaders in front of the kids because they would always be cheering the team on. But the parents were kind of bored and they'd be sitting there. It was hard to get, but they'd say, Laura, you go over to Dee, you go over to the parents section and you get the parents to stand up. And I'd get over there. I'd have the parents shouting, cheering, woo, rooting the team on, standing up. It was so funny. But yeah, that's just me. One of the other AMAs I did was like, hey, Dee, if you want to be a hype mod, you could come over here and be a hype mod for us. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just excited. It's fun. This is going to be really fun, you guys. I don't know. I mean, I think so. I know I'm having fun so far, and I know I'm going to have fun doing it. And I'm going to have fun making a lot of money. Making money is fun, right? So, yeah. Anyway, but thank you.
Yeah. I love the energy. So, before I let investors ask questions, I have a few questions of my own. Yeah, so I wanted to know, I was going to touch on the aspect of vesting, but you already covered that, so that's cool. Now, I still was going to touch on staking, ask if you have anything in the works for you, but you also covered that, so that's amazing. Okay, so I was gonna ask, so this is on the Avalanche network here?
No, we're on the Binance Smart Chain.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we're on BSC.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I've had lots of AMAs today, so I think I have information mixed up in my head. Sorry about that.
No, we had a failed launch. The taxes weren't working on Avalanche and Trader Joe's, so we had to migrate over and relaunch over on Binance Smart Chain. So your information is kind of correct. You just don't have a full complete story. So we and so it gave us the opportunity to come over here. This is a better chain anyway. There's so much more opportunity for us here. I think we're going to be like 10 times the size than we ever would have been over there. So, we were excited. It was definitely like a bummer that the taxes weren't, getting taken out, and that it just wasn't working. Trader Joe's wasn't working. So we did have to migrate over here, but we're really happy to be here. And we just know that the 85% of the world uses the Binance Smart Chain or Ethereum. And so being over Avalanche, it was not the best decision anyway. So it's just great that we're here, and we're actually happy that it happened, because we feel that we will have the potential of going parabolic much more easily here. So, and we're already seeing it. We've already hit our soft cap. You guys, the fair launch opened, let's see, 3.5 hours ago, and we're already way over our soft cap, and so we're doing really good. But we're doing a fair launch, and so I've sent a certain amount of tokens over there, and so as much as BNB is raised is how that determines the price at the end of the fair launch. The fair launch is 24 hours long, and it ends at tomorrow at it's 1900 UTC on the 17th is when it ends, and then we'll plan to go live on PancakeSwap within 4 to 24 hours of the closing of the fair launch. So hopefully that explains your question. I don't know if I did. I kind of took you on a tangent there.
It does perfectly. I asked about the chain that it was on, because I wanted to know if the team had plans for maybe cross chain in the future. So that's why I brought up that thing about the chain it's on. So I have more questions, but let me allow investors get your questions in, because they've been really patient with their hands up. So David, you're up. You can ask your questions. You are allowed to speak. David?
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Okay, sorry. Good day, everyone. Jenny, thank you for the privilege to ask my question. All right.
Sure.
I've listened to your presentation, and it's very awesome. You have a good project here, and I must confess. All right. But this is my question. The sustainability of every project is dependent on the problem they want to solve. What exactly is the problem you want to solve in this space? And now, if you have, gotten down or taken down the problem you want to solve, what are the goals? What are the missions? How do you intend to arrive at those, at solving those problems rather? What are the things? How are you going to solve those problems? Because this space is full of problems. You are seeing projects every day, but for you, this project, looking from the presentation and everything you have to say, and looking at the project itself, the potentials are huge. So how do you intend solving these problems? What are your goals? What are your visions for this project? Thank you.
Yes, thanks for the question. So I feel like, so when you write a project, when you code something, one of the rules and why you're allowed to do projects like this is the smart contract is written. So I had to solve all of these problems that I faced before the code was written. So you have to, because once you write the code, it's set in stone, and it's like producing, a product like a new toy or something, and then bring it to market. It's done. The toy is never going to change. And that's the same thing with Sifu Inu. It's set in stone. So the product and all the problems had to be solved in order to do that. I mean, there's some flexibility with some things, but for the most part, you have to build in the code and write the contract the way that you need it to be in order for it to work. And you can't write a smart contract, and leave it open. It's set in stone. So what I have done is tried to really analyze and think of everything. So I took all those problems with all those rebase projects, with them being able every 8 hours you would get a rebase, right? And so the problem with that was that there was no randomization. So I have fixed that problem by doing randomized airdrops. So we never know when the airdrop is going to be. It's going to be, Tuesday afternoon at 2:45 or 9 p.m. And if you're out and you've sold the bag, then you don't get the airdrop. You don't get the B&B airdrop. Or we open, you sold your bag and you haven't bought back in, and we open the 100 million Sifu suitcase at the scroll, then you missed out. Oh, too bad, you missed out. You shouldn't have sold your bag. Or if you sell your bag and take profits, you're going to want to buy back in. So I feel like I've solved a lot of the problems with the rebases just by using randomization and incentivizing with the airdrops. So making people want to hold and accumulate the biggest bag as possible. I've also baked in the sell tax, so people aren't penalized for buying, and it's not really penalized because it's the whole thing, and just, it's how we're going to earn B&B. It's how we're going to earn the things. So there is a sell tax, and so the 20% sell tax dissuades people from selling their tokens and encourages them to hold them and instead wait for the B&B airdrops and reinvest and keep buying back in. I feel that I've addressed the issue of a price going down by having the buyback feature in there. So there's a buyback feature, so I can come back in and buy back and increase the price if for some reason it gets overinflated by too much being released into circulating supply from maximum supply due to a large airdrop being done, a large scroll being done. So I've fixed that problem that way. I have the anti-bot feature in which will prevent the liquidity from being drained by bots and the owners of those bots, because that's who's really doing it, is the people that own these bots. And I have the anti-whale measure for bad actors to buy more than 1%. I have the ability to blacklist them. I feel like I've really thought of everything that could possibly go wrong and put a measure in there to prevent any problems, and left it open enough and flexible enough to be able to sort of adjust as time moves forward to keep it problem solving, if I may, like going forward. So I feel that I've pretty much addressed all of the problems. And as far as my goal is longevity and to make money. So I'm going to be actively managing it. It's not just a set it and forget it project. I'm going to be actively managing this with my eyeballs on it every single, day, coming in there, like, where are we at? Where's the price? What's this doing? What's the market doing? And based on the information at hand, making adjustments with the flexibility and the availability that I have with the measures that I've put into this, and the code that I've put into this, and the availability I have, options available to me to sort of either increase the price or, maybe allow a little bit more into supply if I have the buybacks just sitting there like ready, if we need to have, if it's become too scarce and the price has gone up too much. So my goals are to be actively managing it and taking it on the daily basis, and the goals are to make money and have everybody make money. So hopefully that answered your question.
So David, I hope that answers your question really well. So we have lots of hands up. So guys, maybe keep it one question per person so we can take everyone's question. So we have $@. $@, you are up next. You can ask your question. $?
Okay, yeah, I'm here. Okay, my question is, can you give us a little more information about your team and what are their roles in Sifu Inu?
Sure. Thanks for the question. Good question. First of all, let me just take the opportunity to say that if you guys don't get your question asked you can go ahead, and I have an AMA section in our Discord, and all of the socials are in the Telegram. We had to turn off the Telegram chat for new members because we got attacked by bots, but the Discord, I believe, is still an open and safe space, and you can go in and ask me anything. I have an AMA section in the Discord, so anything that you don't get asked here, if you don't get answered, feel free to ask me. I'm very approachable. I'm very, nice, friendly, and no question is too stupid. I mean, I was a beginner too. So, if you don't feel embarrassed, we're very inclusive at Sifu Inu. Everybody's invited to the party. And so I just wanted to say that. And now let me answer your question. So my team is basically I'm the founder, and I have some supporting members on my team. And my number one is Scott Hollows, and Scott resides in Australia, and he is was a senior principal for a little software company that you may have heard of called Oracle. Very, very popular. I worked on the accounting software for Oracle, so I'm actually familiar. But I think most people have heard of it. Anyway, so he has helped us and helped me so much with the code and sort of like analyzing it, any changes that we had to make to the code. He has this cool software that will compare it and show us any differences, and just really helped me sort of learn and learn to read Solidity, and helped by, diving in and learning, all of the remix and all the stuff that you need for Web3. So he's been a great and essential member to have on board, and it just really needed, because my background is very strong in accounting and finance and managing the treasury, but for the development, I needed somebody who was just a sort of superstar as far as coding goes, and the software engineering and development part of it. So I'm happy to have him on. We are all fully doxed. I also have Alex Barini. Hi, Alex. He's out there. He's our IT guy. He's our cyber guy. He helped save us. Thank you so much, Alex, for saving us from the terrible cyber attack bots. And he's also going to be monitoring and helping us with the whale watching. He's on those charts all the time, so it's really great to have him on board and helping us with the IT cybersecurity aspect, our cybersecurity bulldog. Thanks, Alex. And then I have Emil Figueroa, who is helping me with marketing, and he brings some experience from the Algo chain and network. And Emil and I have worked together on other projects for just like a little over a year, and namely helium. We're helium miners. I'm also a miner, and I mine Doge and Litecoin and helium and Ethereum. So Emil and I have been working on the mining side of things for a while, and I bring him over, and he's like super pumped. And you can say hi to everybody. They're all on our Telegram very frequently. But yes, we're a doc team. We're doxed through Assure DeFi and KYC'd with PinkSale. We're double KYC'd, and so hopefully that answers your question. That's our team.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Jalisai. Okay. Thank you for your question. Really great question. So we have Jeff Walter. Jeff Walter, you can get your question in. Jeff Walter, are you there?
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Should I ask?
of course. Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks for the opportunity. Well, nice meeting you again, Defi Damsel. I've attended several of your AMAs, and I really do appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, okay, let me go to my question. Actually, I just want to know how you, being a long-term project, how you plan to fund this project. What's the source of your fundings? Like, How do you plan to keep a stability between you and the investors? How do you plan to satisfy them?
I think I got your question. You're breaking up a little bit, but how do I
And
plan to assist? Oh, sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
Really
okay,
bad.
okay,
Let me. I think what you were asking, and you can maybe just tell me, put it in the chat whether what you were talking about
okay.
was. Oh,
Hello.
yes. Hello.
Okay, let me come again. Well, I was saying I do really appreciate your presentations. I've been through some of your emails, and I do appreciate you. Well, actually, I have a question about the fundings of this project.
The funding. Okay. Yes. So the funding.
How
Yeah. Go ahead with your answer. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, maybe we could just mute it. So if we could mute him, that might help. Sorry, I'm sorry, but you're breaking up. So let me just try to address it. So the funding has actually been mostly me. We had some pre-sales. So the funding for the migration and for all of the marketing has been a combination of both myself and pre-sale sales. So I'll just keep it brief, and that's where all the funding has come from. I've sold all my Bitcoin, and I've sold everything that I have because I'm the biggest believer in myself. I know I can trust myself. So yeah, I paid for all of the marketing and the migration and the development fees myself, and with funds from the pre-sales. So hopefully that answers your question. Sorry, we were having trouble.
All right. Jeff, if you have more questions, you can ask in your Telegram chat. Thank you so much for your questions. And DeFi Damsel, you mentioned something, that the funds came from pre-sales, and I wanted to ask, was there a private sale?
Yes. So yes, there was a private sale run through Coin Tool. There was a couple different private sales, and with different amounts. And the last amount was what I projected this price to be, which is 3.0005. And working for Toyota, the pricing division was very, very important. So I wanted to make sure that I got it right. So so it's a really great question, and it's funny. Like we've got one of the guys in the AMAs was calling it a feed the village or a starve the village. So a lot of people and a lot of founders will go ahead and give like their friends and family like this amazing price, ahead of time. And that's like a feed the village. So the price launches, everything goes up, and then, all the friends and family dump, they all make tons of money, and everybody else is sort of left holding this expensive bag that they paid for. But actually, if you look at the price right now, I mean, we don't know how the price is going to end up, but, if we look at the price right now, it's actually the reverse feed the village or a starve the village thing is going on, with the price actually being lower than what was pre-sale. Sorry, all you guys. Hey, if the price ends up lower, I projected, and you know what? Dollar cost average in, because that's how this market is. So anyway, if it's a little bit lower, we don't know how it's going to end up tomorrow. We don't know where it's going to be. I've projected it to be about between 550 BNB to maybe like 700, but if it's less, then the price is going to be less, and you should get the bigger the Sifu bag, the bigger your airdrops. So dollar cost average in right now and pick some more up in this fair launch, because if the price ends up being lower, I've sent 420 million tokens, and they're going to all get divided out equally, so you guys can go in there and do the math and try and do your your figuring out of what the price is going to be. But it's indeterminate until this fair launch closes, and so when it closes, then you'll know the final price. But up until that that point, you won't know what it's going to be. And currently the price is far, far, far below the pre-sale prices. So
Okay.
hope that
Thank
answers
you
your
for that.
question. Great question.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna let these ones get their questions in. We have Shield. Shield. You are muted. You can ask your question. Trust Lisa, you're up next. And Anor 30. So Shield, you can ask your question. Shield, are you there? Uh, okay. So we don't have much time. So I'm gonna
Hello.
let somebody.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, Shield. Hi.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was kicked out initially, but okay, everything is fine now. So I was gonna ask because in your roadmap, I was looking at your website. In your roadmap, I saw something like sex decentralized exchange listing at some point, but then looking at your tokenomics breakdown, I don't see an allocation for maybe future sex listing. So I want to know how the tokens for sex listing will come about, or would you kind of break down the tokenomics again? Because I didn't see that in your website.
Yep. Great question. Here, let me share you guys with you guys. Let's see. I'm getting better at sharing my screen. Okay, here we go. So here is the breakdown of the total supply, circulating supply, and maximum supply. This is a great question. And so right now, the total supply is 2.5 billion. The circulating supply at launch is going to be this. The maximum supply at launch, so it's going to be this much. So this is basically what we have left for the future. So I've allocated 10% for the future. And what I've decided to do, instead of a buyback and burn, looking back on my other ones, I have the 2% buyback feature. I'm going to buy back and I'm going to add it and lock it to the future savings, the future Sifu. So I'm going to keep adding to this bag based on buying back. Anytime I buy back, I'm not going to burn it because we have enough getting burned out of the supply from the earns and burns day. And so I'm just going to keep and adding it back. And like a lot of projects do between, 10 to 30%. And so I figure by the end of 420 days with all the buybacks and burns, we'll be right at that optimal goal of 30% for the future. And then we can sort of decide if this game works really well. This is really, revolutionary. This really hasn't been done. Like I haven't seen anyone do this like on a daily basis where, it's really as randomized and fun with the earn and burn that plays with the volume and the supply and demand and sort of the economics of it. And so because it is a scarce asset, I don't want to burn more than we already have in our game. And this is the amount that I have allocated to the game. So I have 702, 420 allocated to the scrolls, aka suitcases. And so, if a large portion of that gets burned, we're going to need some for the future. So I have set aside this much for the future, but I also have the ability to buy a large portion out of the, whatever's in the circulating supply at the time to add back. But yeah, so here's sort of what I've allocated to team. We're open kimono here at Team Sifu. And this is this is all of everything that's going on. And this is rewards for the staking. So I have allocated 69 million to go for the staking rewards. And, the buybacks might go to the future a little bit. I may shift some between here and there based on the needs. I'm just going to do whatever it takes to make the project the most successful for everybody. So, it's my game. None of the team has a large bag that they can dump on. These are options. So the team's only going to have the options to buy these at a sort of randomized released interval. I control all of this, and I'm a control freak, and I'm not going to let, anything happen to the game, but I have planned for the future, and that's my plan for the future. So hopefully that answers your question, but that was a great question.
All right. Yeah, great question, Chilled, and thank you. And I can see your hand. You have more questions. Please, like I said, we're almost out of time. Head over to the Telegram group and get your question in. So I'm gonna mute Trust Lisa, and then Anor, you are up next. Trust Lisa.
Good day. Thank you for the privilege. I heard that the task for this project is 20%. So I want to ask, will the task change along?
The unlocked tokens? Is that what you're asking?
Hello,
No,
can you hear me?
yeah,
Can you hear
go
me?
ahead.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is Telegram that is dropping me. So will that task freeze forever, or there will be a change along the line, maybe for a short period of
Oh, the
time, or
taxes.
will be that 20% fees?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not changing it, and I do have the ability to change it. I don't foresee, that changing it. Nobody has the ability to do anything in this project but me, and and there's plenty of other one kind of sort of developer tokens, like Richard Hart. He's developed Hex, and he did the Pulse X chain and got $2 billion sacrificed to him for the copy of the Ethereum chain that he's doing this Pulse X thing. And then Forex, the founder of Drip or whatever, and they have abilities to sort of make these changes and that kind of thing. But I'm not foreseeing it. 20% works for me. I'm not going to change it. I'm not, if I were, I'm not, I don't know. That's how the code is. The code is written, and that's how it is. It does have the ability for me to change it, but I also have all the tokens unlocked and everything, and I'm not going to change it. If I did ever change it, I mean, there would be like a big, huge announcement, but it wouldn't be like to drain liquidity or something like that. I have the integrity of, I worked for Toyota Motor Sales. I was audited, twice a year, all the time. I'm not going to be like sitting here changing like the taxes or anything like that, because I just wouldn't do that, and I'm fully doxxed, and I would never put my name out there like that, and to do something like that. I have a family, and I'm just, I want us all to make money. That's what I want to do. I don't want to like change the taxes on everybody and screw everybody over. Why would I don't know. That's just not what I'm going to do. So I plan to keep them at 20%.
All right. Okay. Trust Lisa, I hope that answers your question. If you have more, head over to the Telegram group. So we have the last person, Anor. Anor, you can get your question in. You are unmuted. Anor, are you there?
Hi, good day, everyone.
Good day.
Hello. Welcome.
So, let me go. My question goes this way. My question is, what are the characteristics of your project, and how can your development strategy compete and stand out among other projects?
What was the word that you used? What are the tokenomics? What did you say? The characteristics?
Yes, of your project, and how can your development strategy compete and stand out among other projects?
So I think that just the nature of itself is with the earn and burn. I think when that word gets out there and the frequent airdrops, I don't think there's any project that does this kind of airdrops. Like I'm having like a whole huge application of like development. Like MetaMask only does 200 airdrops at a time, but I'm having a whole a D application developed, so we can do multi-sender, like a huge multi-sender, and it can only do it in batches too, but it will go in batch and batch. So once the word gets out, and we're going to be using marketing to get the word out, but literally once the word gets out, they're like, hey, I'm getting like an airdrop almost every single day from Sifu Inu. Once that word gets out, I think we're going to stand out from the rest. And I think people are just going to want to join in, and everybody's going to hear about it, and they're going to FOMO in, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And I just think that it's just a no-brainer that we're going to stand out because there's nothing like us. And so it's just about getting the word out and putting the marketing, and that's why how important marketing and educational videos are out there, to just let them know about it and let general people know about it and bring other people into the DeFi space will set us apart from the rest. And I think that once people hear about the frequent airdrops, they're gonna really be like, this is different than anything I've ever heard of, with the daily earns and burns on YouTube, like going live and spinning those. Yeah, there's nothing like it. So I think once that gets out and like randomized, like it's just all of it. Once they hear about it and they learn about how awesome my project is, they're going to want to be a part of it because they're going to want to make money. So thanks for the question.
All right, thank you, Arnaud, for the question. So, wow, we have covered quite a lot in the past 1 hour, and I just want to say that I love your strategy for marketing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I've seen you in a lots of channels, doing AMAs, and personally, I feel like it's a very effective way, to reach investors and really teach them about your project. Instead of just regular calls and all of that, really educate investors about your project. So, I'm impressed with that, and I just wanted to say that.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'm living up to my name, the master teacher dog. Well, what's funny is in Chinese, in the Chinese year, I was born in I don't want to say the year I was born in. You guys can Google that. But I was born in the year of the dog. I will say that much, okay? And so I'm like the master, the teacher dog. And so it's my project and the master teacher dog. And I know how important it is to teach and to bring new people in and to really educate people. And, not everybody's a good teacher. And I luckily was born with the gift of being able to really explain things well to people and teach them and answer the questions and answer the tough questions and really get out there and really just sort of bring the information to the people, because if you don't know about it, then you can't participate and you can't make money. And so I know I like to be taught. I like to learn new things. I watch videos. I binge watch YouTube like 24/7 because I love learning new stuff. And so I appreciate it when somebody else would do it for me. So I like to do it for other people. And thanks for recognizing all the efforts and everything that we put into it and that I've done. And it was just so fun being here. And I really appreciate everybody. And please come if you guys didn't get your question answered. And if the Telegram is turned off, go ahead and join Discord, and you can ask it in the AMA section in the Discord too, because I don't think that's been botted yet. But yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So I want to appreciate you, for taking the time to come educate and teach our investors here. Thank you so much for joining us. And to the community, thank you for the questions, the great questions. Really appreciate it. Head over to the Telegram group, get your questions in, participate, and make money. Right?
Yes, exactly. Thanks so much for coming and for having me today. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see all of you guys in the community out there and that you join our fun family. We're very inclusive and we want to see everybody. And don't be shy. Don't be shy. Just come in and say hi. I'm very approachable.
All right. Thank you so much. So yeah, guys, this brings us to the end of the interview, and enjoy the rest of your day. All right. See ya.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.